Don't make me do math words.
The mathematicas. No.
You gotta do it like that.
Boom, porn on the tile floor.
Yeah. See,
They'd be like, what? Let's go.
hey guys, welcome to the Hype Attack Podcast.
Where we weigh in on the latest in nerd and pop culture hype.
We
are there.
We're the excited conversation we all have with our friends.
About the nerdy things we love.
and geek about.
We are
the Hype Attack.
I am the hype.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hype Attack. I'm Jermaine, and as always, I'm here with Doug, Isaac,
What's up?
and Rudy.
Hell yeah.
Today, we're going to get into this past CES. We're going to talk about the innovations, the gizmos, the gadgets, the thingamabobs, and for my Marvel vs. Capcom fans out there, the
Superior attack.
But before we get into that, as always, how did you guys nerd out this past weekend, or what were you guys hyped about?
Do you know what I nerded out on? Because we were talking about CES, I completely forgot what that shit stood for, so I had to look it up. It was the Consumer Electronics Show. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was my nerd moment.
Sometimes we nerds like get stuck with our acronyms and just like spit them out. Like, what do you mean you don't fucking know what CES stands for?
I was right now years old when I learned what that meant.
Today, years old, I was.
It's like, how does convention fit in there? No, it doesn't fit. It's a C. It's an S. Shit.
Like, I still don't know what C2E2 means either.
The hell's that?
It's a convention.
Isn't that the Chicago one?
Yeah,
I looked it up
think
before,
so. I
yeah.
still don't know what the C2E2 means.
I mean, we
Is
can
it like
look it
two
up right
C's
now.
and two E's? And then those stand for something?
Yeah, we should look it up. Yeah, everything's got like some weird meaning. Like PAX West and PAX East. That's just because it's the
Penny Arcade
Expo. Yeah. Anyway, I did this thing because I haven't thought about what I was hyped about. So my
Same.
sheer panic and like passing it to you guys.
Hold on. I just like that we've been a year and change into this,
Yeah.
and nobody is ever prepared except for me. Nobody is ever
He really
prepared
is.
about we have this topic and we're gonna talk about what we're hyped about. Everybody's like,
He's so prepared.
Okay.
He's wearing a condom right now.
I am hyped about like a million things. It's a matter of like filtering it through like my nerdy brain of like which one do I want to talk about.
You know
But
what?
I will say
We're a very seat of the pants podcast, all right?
You know what? I have to ask this. Oh, fuck. The
you have
Jaeger's
to
kicking in.
ask us
Doug, go
chaps on. I do too.
No, you know what? I'll tell you what I'm hyped about. I'm hyped about you guys. Hold hands. Come here. Come on. I love you guys. We've had successful meetings.
Shit, I'm like young
We're
Sheldon. I need my
really
mitts before
on,
I touch you, filthy bastards.
Yeah.
You know, we're running on all cylinders and we're on the same page, and I'm loving it. No more Jaeger for this fucking podcast, please. C2E2 means Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. C2E2.
I know how to Google too.
Man, I just
Whatever.
I just like how everybody says, I don't know what it means, and then just keep talking. I don't know what it means, and then you finally look it up.
Thank you. Thank you,
I got you
Jermaine.
this time.
Death must die.
I got you this
Death
time.
must die. Okay,
Season 2,
that's
Jermaine's
what
on
I'm
my
hyped.
side.
I had to look it up because I literally just bought it and started playing today and got stuck on it. It's called Death Must Die. It's on Steam. It's like $6, $7, I think.
So the one you play as a little crow? Nope. I think it's something else.
No. So this is, I don't know. Last year, a game came out called Vampire Survivors that kind of created this whole genre of Bulletstorm, heavy horde, auto attack, roguelite game. And ever since then, and that was a big success. It was like $3, and that one is very pixel art, auto attack. You just move around, dodge the hordes, and you, just like every other roguelite, you get abilities and stuff as you go. And ever since then, like a lot of games have come out that have tried to like tweak the formula. I just saw this one today called Death Must Die that added equipment to it, and it's not all auto attack, but you can trigger it on and off, which I think is a nice feature because you slow down when you attack. So I like that they're adding a little bit more control back to it. But so far, I'm liking it. There's different classes. I like the idea of like picking up equipment as you go, which changes your stats. And each run so far has been pretty interesting with the way it changes based off the abilities I get. They've added like a pretty good story and some good like NPC characters that like instead of just a pop up of like, here's some abilities, they've added some story elements to it, which is nice. And anyone that's played, probably one of the best roguelites that's out is Hades. I think it's similar in that vein. Not quite the story as that, because that has an amazing story to play through.
Should I still haven't played that game yet?
Shame. Seriously, no. Anybody? Because
Yeah, it's on my list.
I think it's on all the consoles and stuff now, and on PC. And Hades 2 is coming out, so play Hades 1 before you play Hades 2, so you won't be a little bitch. Yeah, so that's what I'm hyped about. Is I've been buying games like left and right because Steam is always having sales, and I've tried a few here and there. And, you know, a lot of times I start playing games like, oh, it's fun, but some of them feel like labor intensive for whatever reason, because we live in a world of battle passes and like, oh, I got to log in daily and do some shit. And when I started playing this today, it's like, I'm just having fun. Like, this is great. I'm having fun. I'm unlocking stuff as I go. I'm not being bombarded with like, hey, you want to buy some shit? You're playing a game. You want to pay more for it? It's like, no, I paid $6 and I'm having a good time.
It's that kind of simplicity that I'm interested in. It's like the old school idea of gaming. It's like not having to do all the DLC shit and stuff like that.
Yeah, you mean just pure escapism and having fun?
That's it.
And
You purchase a thing and that's it.
yeah,
What company is you're not gonna is taking away like the physical games when you buy them? You just have you download them and they can get rid of them at any time.
Oh, I think everyone's heading
Sony?
that way.
Okay.
Microsoft's been pushing it since they lost. This is going way back into like nerd knowledge. When the Blu-ray disc came out, they were in competition with the HD DVD, and the Blu-ray disc was made by Sony, and Microsoft was heavily invested in the HD DVD, and the Blu-ray was just far superior. But that was the disc war. I don't know if you remember back in the days, you'd go to a Best Buy and there was the Blu-ray section and the HD DVD section. But like I said, Blu-ray was just far superior. It held more information on it. So as soon as Sony won that, Microsoft was just like, all right, no more fucking discs, because they knew every game that they sold was going to end up giving money to Sony also. So Microsoft was the first to really start pushing. I think they had an Xbox that didn't even have a disc drive first, and then now Sony has discless stuff. But we're heading that direction, which is it's a shame, because I love being able to hand someone a game.
Yeah,
like, oh, I finished Spider-Man. Here, you can play Spider-Man or whatever. But also, like, I don't know, not having that waste and like just the space. I love like the digital world where like everything I have can fit in like a tablet and like a couple computers or whatever in a console.
You guys still have DVDs?
Oh yeah, I still
got a
DVDs.
bunch. I think we put them in the garage. The
Same
movies are the
storage.
ones where like there's
So I got Blockbuster Hollywood Video in my DVD stash.
there's a comeback or physical media is making a comeback, which is weird at the same time, because Best Buy I think announced this year will be the last year that they're going to have any sort of physical movies. But a lot of people are wanting to hold on to them because now that we've seen these streaming companies delete them, right? Willow, right? Disney completely deleted Willow because they're writing it off as a loss. So you will never be able to see that again unless you bought the Blu-ray, which I think there was a Blu-ray. But, you know, I think there's been other shows that have just been wiped off, and you'll never be able to see them again.
Like I've seen online where people have their impressive movie libraries. I wish I had the storage space. I would display my collection, in a corner of a garage, whether it be VHS or DVDs or I don't know, Betamax or whatever the hell. But like, that's awesome to go through and just physically browse through. That was one of the best times of like a Friday night, is like going to a Blockbuster or whatever your local video store and figuring out what movie, just based off, maybe not a trailer that you've seen, or just based
Where
off
were
of
you,
like
like
the
in
fucking cover.
diapers?
I still, yeah, no,
Yeah, you were
what's
like
wrong
in
with that?
diapers, and that was
This forehead,
happening?
same head size.
I still wish like Netflix or one of them would recreate that in VR.
Yeah.
Instead of like scrolling through a menu, like let me walk around like a virtual space and look at like things and grab it and check it out and like talk to someone.
But the smells
Oh yeah,
of the video store.
I loved it. My friend growing up
mold.
had the wall of movies, and it was always fun to like go over there and like, oh, you guys want to watch a movie? Like, okay,
Yeah.
go through it and pick Under Siege again because of the cake scene. Old ones though know that.
I know.
Cake scene, yeah. Older millennials.
Oh boy.
The origination of the term.
Yeah. So my DVD rule, Blu-ray rule, but I like barely have any Blu-rays because I still like the grittiness of DVDs. But my rule is always, are you gonna pick that up off the shelf and actually watch that again? That's my rule of
Yeah, it's a good rule.
collecting, whether it be graphic novels, DVDs, like anything physical. I'm like, are you gonna watch that again? Are you gonna read that again? Because when I was younger, at my first job, I was working at Disney. We got paid every Wednesday, so I was buying comic books like crazy, DVDs like crazy, and it just got too much. So it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? You need to give yourself a little rule. Don't buy it if you ain't gonna watch it.
Yeah. Did you guys have a DVD or Blu-ray that you would pull out all the time?
Yeah. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
No.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back for me. That was constant. Even like some of my friends, like I think my friend Robert, he and I like could just recite that whole movie. We'd put it on. And we were usually like playing a game or something again. Because in our upstairs room, we had multiple TVs. So we would usually have that going on one TV while we PlayStationed or N64 on the other.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead. And Shaun of the Dead had like the interactive menu where you might find like an Easter egg in the menu. That was like, that's where the deleted scenes or some other behind the scenes shit was.
That was fun. Anyway.
Yeah, my answer for movies is always The Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a good
Always.
one to put. Yeah.
For me, as we get closer to February, I'm getting more and more hyped for this Avatar. The
When's it coming out?
Avatar: The Last Bender. I think it's the 22nd or the 27th.
It's too far. Damn it.
But the more like little screenshots they kept
Yeah.
that they keep putting out, and just seeing the characters in their
Costumes.
like their live action beings, whatever you want to say, but or live action characters. Just
Costume.
I just love everything that I see, and I hope that it's good. But that's what I keep getting excited for, and I can't wait.
I'm throttling my expectations on that way back.
I know. I don't want to be disappointed, man. Like the costumes look great. Speaking of like live action adaptations, I've never watched the anime One Piece. What is it, like 10 years worth of show to watch?
Like 1,000
This
episodes.
is over
plus.
1,000 episodes.
Yeah, that's a lot. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I might watch it here and there, but like that's a lot of show to watch. So I'm watching the live action adaptation, and it's okay. It's pretty fun. I don't know anything about the lore and all that other mythology and shit, but they're explaining it along. I'm like, all right, it's fun. But I wonder for those who have watched the anime, like I haven't looked up like how they like that adaptation. Because
I do hear 50-50 about it. So
okay, I'm not hating it. It's pretty fun so far, but like, to compare it to Avatar, I'm like, but I really loved the show. I know it's a strong story. Are they going to be able to do all of that?
I mean, if they keep their word from what they said, that they're going to pretty much adapt each book, aka each season, they're going to adapt it to the point of what works and what doesn't work for, film and all that kind of stuff. So it's not going to be exactly like how Zack Snyder did 300, where it was, almost shot for shot.
Okay.
So they did come out and say that we're going to try our best to adapt it, but we're also going to tweak certain things because of, this is going to be on film, and it's not, a cartoon, a Nickelodeon cartoon.
Because I don't know if I brought this up last week, and pardon, I tend to repeat things, sort of my brand. I did finish the whatever like miniseries of of Yu Yu Hakusho, the live action adaptation, and people were like, "Ah, man, how could you condense things into like a whatever 6-part miniseries or whatever?" I'm like, again, with these animes, they really the true anime shit. They really stretch the whole. What is it like? 28 episodes per season. Could you imagine them doing that for like Dragon Ball Z? or Dragon Ball or whatever, where you're like having like these, getting these prep episodes and shit.
I don't know. Dragon Ball is
That's a lot.
a lot for a live action. Not saying that it can't be done by the right person, but it's
Like Yu Yu Hakusho, like it was fun. It was a fun little quick watch. And that was it. I didn't feel any like connection to the anime show that I used to watch after school all the time. But it was just fun. It was, the special effects were cool. So yeah.
Yeah, it was like its own thing to you then.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
gotcha.
Sorry.
Puberty hits us all at different times.
But like it's all.
Well, I was going to ask. I haven't watched the show. I've obviously heard really, really good things, and they've done one spin-off show, anime, right? Already, wasn't Korra
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a
follow-up or
spin-off. Yeah, but follow-up.
follow-up? Yeah.
It's like
So I know
20
it's
years,
good.
30 years.
Is a live action necessary?
Man, necessary is a tough.
I mean, I admit it will probably make me watch this, so it's certainly going to introduce more people to the universe. But are we going to get anything out of this that I wouldn't get from just watching the anime?
That we'll see, because it for like a kid show on Nickelodeon, like I remember not watching it until like a couple of years ago, because I was like, yeah, I used to see people watch it, just another fucking cartoon. No, man, Nickelodeon wouldn't just have cartoons; they would have deep ass layered fucking stories where you're like, is this this kid show is making me cry?
Yeah, like it was a show that's pretty much almost Toonami level of
Okay.
So
of a cartoon.
like story wise, yeah, it could work as a live action, where the question of like necessity comes into play is only applicable because fucking M. Night Shyamalan butchered the shit out of the fucking
point.
movie.
Good point.
So there's a redemption, there's a revenge. So yes, in this particular sense, fuck yes.
That's a very good point. Yeah, and there's enough people that will never watch animation, and if that's their only
There you go.
memory of this universe,
Yeah, like it just put a bad taste. I'm gonna be so happy when they pronounce his name right. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm not even gonna say his name because I might.
M. Night Shyamalan, brought to you by Malort.
Like it was like nails to a
Ballsack?
I mean, wait, I thought we were talking about bad stuff.
Yeah,
Oh no, the M.
I
Night.
talked about. Yeah,
that's good. Like, what the fuck where are you coming from?
apparently he liked it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, M. Night and his adventures with Ong. Just like such an arbitrary thing to change the pronunciation of the main character's name. Like I don't understand.
Someone
why he felt the need.
someone had a difficulty with it. Fuck it, change it.
What is it in Harry Potter again? The phrase, the name, like the name we don't say, or
He who shall not be named.
yeah, that's how I feel about the pronunciation of his
About that
name.
whole movie, the movie that should not be watched.
God, I mean, I don't.
I try to delete that from my memory bank.
Do you remember how fucking excited we were to go see that? Like it was just past the era of midnight shows, but we could still watch it on the Thursday before. So we were there with all the other nerds.
But it's like everybody was hyped. Like I just felt the energy from all the fans. Like we were in there and you just feel the hypeness in the air, the fandom. And man, when that movie ended, we all walked out so different. We walked out so different than how we walked in. I'm gonna just say that.
I remember hearing the couple of guys behind us as we were walking. I go, "What the fuck was that?"
That's the best when you actually hear. I mean, not the best, but
Yeah.
like it's always fun when people are very audible about something that deserves the hate.
I don't know about you guys, but like as I have grown older, like since being a kid, and you see like what they're gonna make, they're gonna fuck right off.
These two have to drive. We don't.
Hell no.
He doesn't have to drive.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
His
you
wife's
have to
coming for
drive,
him.
Okay,
Rudy,
fine.
Rudy needs cough syrup.
It really is. But growing up, you're like, what they're making, I don't know, an X-Men movie, what they're making, whatever, thing that, and you're just super hyped about it as a kid. And then you watch and you go, okay, I guess I like it. And I'm forcing myself to like it and stuff. Like, do you see that changing at all as you've grown older? Are you a little bit reserved when it comes to the hype? Do you see yourself having that knee-jerk reaction of like, oh my fucking God, wait, I've been hurt before.
I'm still excited when I hear something's being adapted from, whatever original form it is to a new form.
Sure.
I'm like, oh, that might be interesting. Though I do go into it with that. Okay, let me pull way back on the throttle because they really fuck this up. And you get these properties who are like, no, look at the original. How could they fuck this up? And somehow they do.
Oh, but they do.
They find the way.
So you guys didn't like the movie adaptation of Dragon Ball Z?
That shit doesn't exist. What are you talking about? This is an alternate reality where that fucking released. Doug, you're gonna say?
Oh,
I had to delete it again from my memory bank.
I think I've brought it up on the show before. Maybe I don't remember some of our episodes, but with adaptations, especially often like an older property, to answer your question, as we get older, sometimes we also just outgrow this stuff. And I know, especially in the nerd realm, we don't. But
what do you mean?
I haven't run into that yet myself, but
no, yeah, same here for me. I mean, some things I realize like maybe I've outgrown a little bit.
Like what?
Just certain comic book elements. Like there's certain characters that will always stick with me and I'll always appreciate. But some of the over the top stuff to me now, I'm just like a little like, that's a little over the top. That's why I was like excited about Marvel's Echo because it's kind of back to street level shit.
You started watching that yet?
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes.
First episode down.
Yeah,
So
first
far, so
episode was
good.
pretty
Yeah.
solid.
I teared up a little bit.
Yeah. But online,
Why do I keep bringing the show down?
online, like I'll read people's comments about like certain elements of like new video games or new movies or anything, and especially adaptations. And sometimes just in their tone and what they're saying, part of me is just like, you might just not like comic book stuff, and it's okay. And especially like now that we've lived through this like nerd renaissance where everybody became a nerd.
Yeah.
Like, especially in like their 20s or like their teens and 20s, they became a nerd. But now we're 10 years past, well past 10 years of like the beginning of the Marvel universe, which probably led their nerd renaissance. It's like, yeah, some of you are in your 30, like late 30s and 40s now. Like you might just not like this stuff, but it sucks that they still get online and like bitch about it and not like, it's the same thing with horror movies is people say like, oh, they don't make horror movies as scary as they did back then. It's like, you were 12 back then.
Yeah.
Like it was scary.
And
you're
shit
an
was
adult now. Like
cheesy as fuck.
the scariest thing now is bills.
Taxes.
Sorry, ranting. This is what Jaeger does.
joint pain.
God.
Yeah.
Not me.
Mind wipe.
That's the
Y'all can
horror
have that
movies we
shot.
need now.
Y'all
It's
can
like,
have that shot.
A lot of breathing in your face.
I got to get up out of bed to go pay a bill, but my knees hurt too much to do it. And I can't remember my fucking login to my bank account because they make me change it every 2 months. With put in 10 letters, make sure there's a symbol.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Enjoy, you filthy bastards.
All our young listeners like, these fucking boomers.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
I wish I could delete my brain. I wish there was some sort of, device or technology for that.
I mean, wow.
Jaeger.
Yeah, just drink some more of that shit.
Hey, speaking of technologies, CES happened recently.
Yeah, the Consumer Electronics
Electronics
Show
Show.
in Las Vegas.
Woo!
Huzzah!
I used to go. My brother and I went to those way back in the day because we were into car audio.
Talk amongst yourselves.
And man, I've never seen someone react. So, I mean, you drink Malort.
Yeah, one shot.
Yeah.
This is Jaeger.
I don't know how that's good to y'all.
By the way, the last time I drank Jaeger, I passed out underneath the stage.
Didn't
And
we
it
do a shot of
closed.
Jaeger Monday?
Yeah.
Did you pass out under what stage?
Look, long story, man.
Okay.
Time before that. Sorry.
All right.
Jaeger just hits his vagina the wrong way. Just leave him alone.
Seriously. Hurts. Ow, my hymen.
But my brother and I used to go to the Consumer Electronics shows way back in the day when car audio was a big thing and everyone was getting subwoofers and receivers and all that. And so we would go in there and it was a blast back then. There was so much random technology and a lot of stuff that like probably never makes it to the market. I wish I could. I haven't gone recently at all, but maybe next year we'll go because there's so much cool stuff that always just gets announced, and a lot of it's way past my price point. But it's kind of fun that when you're there, you get to like play with it for a little bit and pretend like you can actually afford a $200,000 grill.
Is there really one? Like,
Didn't CES have like a video game component to it a little bit before they kind of?
Wait, what was that?
Didn't CES have like a video game component to it? Didn't they show up for that?
Yeah, so
Because I think that's how I remember getting into that was like, oh, CES is happening because Nintendo's showing this or Sony's showing that.
yeah, I think the big three would go there to show off, especially like new tech, especially new consoles and stuff. They'd be there because I remember being at CES and Microsoft was there with the Xbox, and I think it was there that the guy was telling me that Microsoft originally planned on giving away the Xboxes for free and making up the money through console sales and just complete domination of the console market. But they were stopped from doing that.
Yeah, that'd have been wild.
Yeah, that was like OG Xbox, the big fucking box, the giant controllers like this big. I never had it, so I just make fun of Xbox people. How do you even play in those?
they were chunky. They were chunky controllers, bro.
Chunky. So this year's CES, what did you guys see in all the announcements? If you're like me, your algorithm was just constantly, let me check this stuff out.
I think my phone heard you say CES, and all of a sudden it just
Yeah.
Yeah.
my entire feed.
The radio show I listened to, they were talking about it left and right. Some of the things that they were talking about, I pulled up because I was like, yeah, that is interesting. I kind of would like to have some of those things. Mm-hmm. But one you pulled up and I completely missed it was the
Sex toys?
yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want one?
I don't know. There was, I didn't look up the name of them, but there was a vibrator that
I have them saved on favorites. Hold on.
there was a vibrator that could link to your Spotify account to vibe with the beats.
See, I didn't even.
Yeah.
I didn't
Never
even,
gonna finish.
I didn't even dip my pinky toe into that pool. I was just like, I'm sure
pinky toe.
sure one of these two will cover it.
Pinky toe is what I call my penis.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
So
My birthday's coming up is what I'm saying. Okay, I want one of those
The
things.
Spotify vibe.
That's fun.
Yeah. What song would you go with first?
I know. I was thinking of it. Fuck it like an animal.
Oh,
9 Inch Nails.
okay.
Give
I mean,
her-
something like Slipknot, just
I think this is a little bit of an offshoot, but you guys ever like bumped uglies as music? Like you have your playlist, and you ever have a wrong song pop on, and you realize that you're like, bless you, and you realize that you're like thrust into the beat. So I used to have like not necessarily like a sex playlist, right? But like randomize, and the 9 Inch Nails, "Fuck You Like an Animal" comes on, and it's. I'm like, oh damn it! Okay, I guess I got to make this sexy and just rhythm
my
slow down.
hips are moving to the beat.
All right, no more Jaeger.
But then ska, it's like, sorry, no more Jaeger, please. Continue. Who asked the question? What happened?
Jermaine's gonna go. CES, what you got?
Follow
So-
that.
One of the interesting thing is the what is it? The X-Real Air 2 Ultra augmented reality glasses.
Hell yeah, I've been following them for a while.
I thought that was like, it's a pretty interesting device, like especially with like all that VR stuff and it's
AR.
a lot of pinch and hand gestures, and it's just like the glasses that you wear, but you don't need anything in your hand.
Yeah,
so
they're
it's-
basically sunglasses. They're very small. It's an AR device, not quite full VR.
yeah. It almost looks like the Ray-Ban style of
Yeah, is it Meta that teamed up with Ray-Ban to do some sort of smart glasses? I forget.
I think they have one too.
Can I ask quickly ask a question? Do you think like AR hasn't taken off as much as it should have?
Yes, but I think we're there. I think VR lent itself more for gaming, so I think that's why VR was that heavy lean. But the new Meta Quest 3 added a whole big AR pass-through element to it. Microsoft tried AR back a while ago with the HoloLens, and it never really took off.
Well, and Google Glass tried it for a minute, and it just looked douchey as fuck.
Yeah, and the Google Glass thing was like,
Say that.
I guess again, not the entertainment.
Google Glass.
Google Glass. But no, like, not to interrupt Jermaine, I think these kind of devices, especially since they're going to be essentially just glasses thick and not too heavy.
That's what I've always thought. Yeah, instead of the stupid Google Glass.
Yeah,
shit.
I was looking into that one because I don't have a TV in my room and I usually just watch on my tablet or my phone. But to be able to just put on glasses and essentially have a 80-inch TV,
Yeah, like
in
you
my
can play,
view.
like you can link it, to your phone or
That'd be awesome.
link it to your, like your Nintendo Switch or anything like that. You could just play. But it'll be pretty cool because we're nerds. All those things that we see in movies, like especially Iron Man. Those,
Like the hollow.
yeah, like all that stuff. It'll be
Holographic.
interesting to see how all that stuff, plays out into the future.
Yeah, a cool element to that too also is screen expansion. So since it's AR, so augmented reality, meaning you could still see the world around you. So part of that is going to be like if you have a laptop in front of you, you have your laptop screen, but then you can use the AR glasses
Oh,
to
that would be
add
so cool.
more screens. So
Yeah.
if there's just like a document that you want to keep up, you can just grab it and pinch it, to another part of your view. So it would be like working with like 6 monitors if you wanted to.
That would be so uncomplicated too, because you would most likely just need a USB-C plug-in, which I think everything is converting to USB-C.
Yeah.
Fuck Apple.
It might
with their
even be
goddamn lightning
wireless.
cords.
Like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi 7 is coming out. Wi-Fi 7 was pretty big at, which is weird because Wi-Fi 6 just came out. It feels like.
And I look at this stuff, and the reason why that one kind of intrigued me, because the nerd in me, when you look at those, those type of glasses, and you could still be aware of your surroundings at the same time. So how cool would it be if you can, for someone who goes on runs, have like a temple run type of thing, like you can run like around the track, or like almost like Sonic the Hedgehog. You can collect things as you go, or even like Pokemon Go. You're just out there and you of course you just see these Pokemons all over the place. But it would also be cool to, like, if you did do like a run and you see the shadow image of yourself on like your last run.
Oh,
like,
that would be fucking cool.
Like, he's ahead of me. Oh, that means I'm slower than my last run, or he's behind me, so that means I'm faster than my, last run. Like, it'll just be cool to see how these things go forward.
Great idea, man. Yeah.
And I just feel like I need it.
CES, are you listening?
I need it now because I don't want it to be, like when I'm old and I'm like, damn,
I've
wheelchair.
I know like the Meta Quest 3 has like workout things where like your trainer could be in AR. Like you could put your trainer like on the table or something like that. Because some of these will still use like a card that has like a symbol on it that the device recognizes. Okay, cool. Put our projection here. But I always thought it'd be fun to have like a training AR thing where you get like some, I don't know, like Rocky's old man trainer from the Rocky movies, like yelling at you at the gym, or like
Is Mac?
Mick.
yeah, or like a Batman or something yelling at you to like keep on going at the gym. I think it'd be fun.
Swear I'll do it. Don't swear to God, do it.
Or like Yoda on your back, you're just like looking. Fucking creepy Yoda's always over your shoulder.
You have like a haptic, sweatshirt, so you feel his weight on your back.
And mine would just sense how disappointing I would be, and Yoda just be like, "Sad I am." Try.
What's I mean, we're so close to like things that are depicted in Black Mirror, where for them they have like a little lens. I think they can get like an implant or whatever, and we're so close to fucking getting that.
like it's almost in your contact lens, and then it's just crazy to see these concepts and these ideas come out that we used to see in sci-fi movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
And
mean,
we're damn near there.
and like you look at attempts of this technology
Until I can fuck a robot in a flying car, we're not there.
with 3 tits.
As many as you want, it's interchangeable.
But like, I lost my train of thought.
Yep. I wouldn't expect anyone to keep it after that ridiculous remark. Sorry. But along those lines, and I'll let you keep going. A lot of the VR and AR sets there are getting so small. It's very exciting.
That's
like,
what I wanted to
me
say.
playing like the PSVR 2, like it's still like a heavy unit. And then I tried the Oculus 3 at Best Buy, and it's lighter. It's still pretty heavy. I'm very excited about how small everything's getting.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Like these attempts at similar technologies from like years ago, where you're like, you can technically do it, but you're wearing this like ridiculous headgear, and it gets more and more and more compact. Where finally, it doesn't look like bulky fucking lenses.
Oh yeah, over time, everything is going to become smaller and smaller.
I mean, because the whole idea of it isn't like, look at that guy wearing the fucking Google Glass, what an idiot. But it's like, oh, you have your regular glasses on.
Yeah.
I mean, I know like Ray-Ban has the like the camera thing on there, which is cool. Like my brother has that, and it looks like a regular pair of like bold frame glasses with a lens. So that when like Doug is next to me in the urinal, I can just sort of like snap a pic,
Yeah.
boom, upload it on my OnlyFans that I have created.
My
with him.
fat ass belly blocks anything that you could see.
I do
Man, people are into it. Lit for every pot.
think that everything's going to be interesting to see where this stuff goes. Like especially with Meta and all that stuff, because you can kind of almost be anywhere in the world, see anything. Like if you wanted to go to a museum, like a certain thing, you could just put on these glasses and you're there. And I do know, like they mentioned, like if you, let's say you couldn't buy tickets to this concert, but you're like, damn, like I really want to go.
Exactly.
But now you don't have to sit, feel like you're sitting all the way up there and you're just up close.
Well, currently is Meta partnered with Fortnite at all or whatever? I know Fortnite has had their concerts. It's like been a big fucking thing. Merge those two worlds, boom.
Yeah.
Fortnite is always
I've
doing
gone to a VR concert, but not in that sense of like they just have a 360 camera set up in the front row, which is cool. And that's one of those questions about like when the metaverse was big before all the tech bros got onto fucking. See, I already forgot what they were called. Not the
It's not Jaeger, dude.
Bitcoins. Oh, AI. Sorry. It went from the Bitcoin stuff, the NFTs to metaverse, and then everyone got on AI, and now the tech pros are kind of lost because AI is already kind of dying. But it's making a comeback a little bit. Anyway, I went to a VR concert where like the artist actually like set up a VR environment, and like the different songs that she played, like brought the whole audience into like we were like flying through the air with her as she's sang, and like there's so much cool stuff that can be done with VR.
Yeah, like how cool would it be if let's say you were a park like Disneyland, or you worked in construction, and rather than seeing everything in like a computer file, you just go to the spot and they have everything loaded, and you're like, this is what this thing would look like.
Yeah.
This is how this building would actually look.
Sony showed off a headset at CES that was designed for 3D artists. And it was cool because one, it had a screen that like flipped, like the goggles flipped up, which is super nice. Instead of having to like take off the goggles, you can flip them up to talk to people. But again, very narrow, flipped. And then like their controllers, instead of being like gaming controllers, it was like a ring and then like this other device for a pin. And it was solely designed for like 3D artist design or
That's cool.
Like blueprints and stuff. So like what you were saying, like a construction crew, could all put them on and stand around a table and like look at a 3D image and like grab things and move things around. VR, I mean, we've talked about VR before on this, and it is amazing, and with the AR stuff. And I think I should look them up. I don't know if they're still around. I know a few years ago there was a group that was going around to like inner city kids and bringing them VR so they could experience like just going to a forest or going to like other parts of the world, because they'll probably never leave that city, and just being able to show them it and they can experience it. It's really, there's a lot of cool stuff beyond just like anime titties and stuff.
There's nothing beyond anime titties.
Yeah.
I guess the next question then is like affordability. Like what right now? What are those pair of glasses?
Oh, I don't know
priced
the
at?
prices for
They're not bad.
anything that I.
Because the like VR
But
goggles you're talking about.
I
Doug,
do know that it's either half the price or it's not even close to its competitors. Like the price is affordable, so it's not anything too crazy.
I guess affordable is relevant, huh?
Oh yeah, you have to put it out there. Because I
Yes.
mean, because you're making a product, and it's not like you want only a specific group of people to afford this thing. You want everybody to be able to get in on the action.
I really think, yeah, because like I really think AI paired up with AR
Yeah.
is
So the
gonna be-
Air 2 Pros are $450.
That's pretty good.
The first model
what
was
are
like
iPhones now, like
$284.
$1,000.
Yeah, or more.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
PS5 hovers around there. I mean,
Yeah.
not a wild expenditure.
All this stuff, though, like anyone has to really ask, like, how often they would use it.
See, it's
That
just
just reminded me of something.
my mind just goes places. You know, when I see like a certain tech, you know, I'm just like, man, that could be done. So, you know, like you could use that in so many avenues. Like imagine if, granted, if you like paintball, yeah, you can go paintball. But imagine if you're, you know, at a place where you don't need to bring any gear and they have the glasses, and it's almost like
Ready Player One.
yeah, Ready Player One, where you could, you know, fix yourself up any way you want.
How far are we from that?
Pick a
Like
gun,
a full haptic
you know.
suit, you know what I mean?
I was going to
gun
say,
and
half the
clips
fun of paintball is hearing those little kids fucking scream when you shoot them. So until people hear the pain
Get someone in the throat.
or feel the pain, yeah.
Man,
Oh, shit.
You know what? Like to piggyback off of the VR thing, right? Because you can have a haptic suit and feel everything, right?
Yeah.
Throw some good headphones on, hear everything. Good pair
Oh,
of
some headphones
AR,
have
VR.
haptics. Haptics.
Oh shit, that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But you know what you're missing? Smell. That was another thing featured.
I was going to what's the fancy word? Segue. I was going to segue into my thing, but I know you have a VR smell. Let's do it.
Yeah, but I mean, not really a lot of details other than, you know, you like basically wear this thing like over your ear and it pairs up with whatever the fuck it's pairing up with, and you just have it shoved up your nose. It's like, well, actually, according like what it looks like on the design, it doesn't look like it's like going straight up your nose, but it's just sort of sitting on your upper lip, you know, and just kind of wafting smells.
Smell-o-vision has been in talks for so
Yeah.
long. I mean, like, it was a gag, you know, but it's really a thing that people are really trying to get down.
Well, a factory memory is like the strongest type of memory.
Yeah.
So why
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
you have sense memories?
And
You know,
I mean, again, it's all part of like the metaverse experience because there was
Yeah.
a company I think last year at CES that was introducing a like a T-shirt that would get like hot and cold based off your VR environment.
Okay.
And so like the idea, smell, like you said, it's like a part of your memory, and every time I go in a VR environment, like it is noticeable that that's missing. No matter how real it looks, you're standing like in the forest. There's a waterfall. You can
Is it
hear
a
it.
thing?
it makes you feel like you're really there. Sorry, but like for instance, like I have COVID right now, so I can't smell anything, and so you know, it doesn't feel like I'm really. It doesn't feel like I'm really here. You know
I
what
am
I mean?
going to my grandma's 90th birthday in 2 weeks. I swear to God. If you give me a reason to not have to go, I will be so happy.
Well, that took a turn.
I am joking. No, I love my grandma. I want to go.
He hates you, Grandma.
So it's 2 shots of Jaeger, and he's honest.
What will we get with 3?
Hey,
Right.
I don't want. They'll have to
it-
follow.
Baby girl.
Is it the
Let's get
ride?
one more. One more and I'll stop pushing.
Shut up.
What?
Can you play that back to me?
Hold on. Let me
How
get
is this bottle
one
still
more and I'll stop
sweating?
pushing.
I've like wiped off this table so many times.
Anyway, much like me, that bottle's wet.
Jesus.
Hey, it's
But-
your
but-
idea to
but-
fucking bust the Jaeger out, okay?
But smell, I mean, we're that much closer to even taste.
Butt smell? Sorry. I'm 12 years old.
We know.
That's what, yeah, once VR has this, like when you're in a group, you're like, and then everyone's VR kicks in.
You know what? That's actually a
I'd
good
be
point.
so
like,
mad.
At what point would we be able to, you know, you're in the
Fart
same
in our
room.
VR.
It's essentially like, you know, mimic the smell that you're experiencing right now.
You need like one
I'm
of
sure
those
we're
air
close.
purifiers. You need one of those air purifiers linked to whatever it is that you're playing. And it'll have a certain amount of smells in there that can, like make the scent of whatever it is that you're going through. Like it needs to combine this, and this, and it smells like an orange, or yada yada yada. Like what is that ride over at
Soren.
Disneyland, Soren over California?
Oh yeah,
when you fly over the oranges.
Don't they also release like certain scents as you're going over like the orange fields and whatnot?
Well, I think the park releases popcorn smell, right?
The show releases
That popcorn smell is not actually from the popcorn.
Fuck off, do they?
Yeah.
What?
I've never heard that. And I worked there for a little while.
Maybe the internet lied to me. One of the few times it was wrong.
No, you probably misconstrued that. I say that when I fart. I just go, and I go, it smells like popcorn. Huh? They're like, oh.
Man, we really want him to have another shot of that? This is gonna be great.
Do you really want this? This is terrible. This is really bad.
Smell, though, really...
And I killed the Celsius.
We've already gotten off the rails, so let's fucking let's lean into it.
All right, let's just do a shot.
Here we go. As always.
Fuck me Tuesday.
Clink, clink, clink.
Enjoy the ride.
So smell puts us closer to taste also, which I've always said, like, eating as a foodie, maybe it's easy for me to say, but eating really is, to me, the last adventure we have because so much of the world can be experienced through the internet, through just looking up photos and stuff. I mean, hell, some of the trips we've gone on, like my brother starts looking up videos and I start looking up videos, and at a certain point I'm like, I don't even need to fucking go anymore. Like I've seen it. But taste is the last thing you can't experience, but I think we're almost to that point, which will then make things weird.
So snozberries will taste like snozberries.
Yeah.
God.
But going along with that idea of virtual experiences, Razer put out, every year at CES, it's always so fun to see what Razer puts out. And they'll always do some crazy concept thing that sometimes is, they'll never make.
Oh, yeah,
They've done things,
outlandish stuff.
Yeah, but it's
once in a while.
always cool to see. I think a couple years ago, they made like a laptop that had 3 screens and someone fucking stole it. Like out of the store. So someone out there has like the one Razer 3-screen laptop. But this year they put out something that wasn't actually really that outlandish, and I hope they make it because they've already made a chair that has haptic feedback. But this year they put out Project Esther, that's just like a pad that you can add to any other chair that has haptic feedback. But it's using some new technology. Like Razer was using HyperSense haptic feedback in like their headsets that I mentioned earlier, but now they're using they're calling it Sensa HD Haptics because I think they acquired a haptics company. And what that means is like the HD is implying like there's, I think like 16 or so like different forms of haptic feedback, which I don't know if you guys remember, like the N64 was the first controller to have rumble.
Yeah.
And it was just rumble.
You would have to buy the Rumble pack.
Yeah, you'd have to buy the rumble pack, but it was just just a motor that
was
rumbled.
PS1 that had it built in, or PS2?
PS2 eventually introduced the DualShock or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. And then now the PS5 has like kind of that more advanced haptics where you get like a roll and like both sides kind of vibrate differently and there's different intensities. So this is that same idea where this chair pad is going to have like all those different intensities. And at a certain level, like the whole haptic thing was like, it doesn't seem important, but I remember even when I had it on the N64, when I finally got the rumble pack playing, we only bought one. Right, so when you got the controller that didn't have it, it always just felt off.
Oh yeah, we would fight over it.
And even now, like playing, some of my PC games with the controller, like there's not the rumble feature. It's like it feels so off. And then when I got the PSVR 2, the upgrade from the PSVR to the PSVR 2, they added haptics in the headset. And again, it was one of those things like I don't know how important that is. And now it's like that's so cool, like playing a racing game, like playing Gran Turismo. I'm like hitting the wall and actually feeling it in your head. I know it's like a weird thing, but it's just, I think haptics is a really, it's more important, I think, than maybe people give it credit for.
I mean, it's so funny. You look at games way back when, and it was just a plumber running across the screen.
Haptics,
but no,
I don't know how many people understand haptics. Sorry. I just realized like not our audience might not understand when I say haptics. It's like your controller vibrates, or in this case, like the seat itself is going to vibrate like based off where you're getting hit.
Fuck my thing. What I was going to ask too was like, at what point do you think
whip it out?
How thumb?
Fuck that thing.
At what point should we introduce like, low voltage?
Oh, to like actually get pain. I think there's some people working on that kind of stuff.
I mean, not necessarily pain, but like, an actual
I think someone
muscle
made a
twitch.
VR headset that will literally kill you if you die in a game.
Sweet Christ.
Yeah, I remember when they released
You
that.
ever tell you about that my 17th door story?
No.
But
We don't need to hear
there's
it.
like those those levels of immersion where you go like, let's take it up a notch.
Yeah.
Like, how in depth do you want to get? How immersive?
I don't know if you
I'm pretty
necessarily
sure they're
need
gonna
all
get there
that.
one day.
Because so it's one thing to have like, oh wow, it rolls from here to there. Because the Rumble technology has like come a very long way. I mean, hell, even like on your phones, it vibrates a very specific way to a beat and whatever. And you can achieve certain things with that. And it's another thing to have like, on your chair, but you throw like low voltage on there, not necessarily to induce pain, because low voltage doesn't hurt, but it feels a little bit more real.
See, when I was younger and they started doing all this stuff, I always wanted them to like when you have first person shooter games or even like a fighting game, I always wanted them to build something that like if you were physically in VR, AR, and you were holding something, or you were fighting somebody, and if you got shot in the arm, you can't use that arm anymore.
Oh, interesting.
So, but if you do try to use it, that's when you get, they're like, oh no, you're not supposed to use that arm, and then it'll shock you or lock you up or whatever, or you can't pull the trigger anymore.
Here's what like full immersion does, right? It ups the risk factor. I'm not going to go into the full 17th door story, but
Thank God.
Shut up. But when
I'll
you're
drink
like,
that whole bottle. If not,
but when you go into something, you're like, oh, this is supposed to scare me. I know that it's manufactured. Zero risk factor. But as soon as you know that you're going to get tased, you're going to get hurt and poked and prodded and shit like that, you're like, oh, I really don't want that to happen. And now this becomes a little bit more real.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily have to die in the fucking game, but, kind of hurt a little.
I think there's certainly an audience for it. And then going back to what you were saying about
For sure.
the new PS5 controllers actually kind of achieve that with the responsive triggers, where like there's some games where like if your gun jams or if you get hurt, like the trigger just won't pull.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Or like I love it in Cyberpunk when you get a flat tire, the fucking controller's like the gas trigger starts vibrating like to let
Also,
you know.
specific button trigger or button vibration.
The two triggers have full, like they can lock out, they can do vibration, they can
Whoa.
click, like they'll have resistance. So like if you're playing a game like Horizon and you use a bow, as soon as you equip the bow and you try to hold like
that's
R2,
cool.
it gets resistance, and the longer you hold it, it like starts fighting you. It's honestly probably one of the best
That's
features
amazing.
of the PS5.
Yeah, I've
It's-
actually never heard anything like
adds
that.
so much to it. Like I said, I played games where again you're pulling the trigger and then all of a sudden it stops working because the gun jammed and you got to clear the gun. And yeah,
Was that almost like the technology? I could be wrong, but do you remember the game Heavenly Sword back in the day? Was that one of the things where they had tech where it was like kind of like if you like shot cannon or shot like an arrow, you could kind of move the controller.
Yeah, the
and kinda guide
PS3.
it?
The PS3 was the first system. I mean, I guess the Wii was kind of the first system with the motion controls, but the PS3, like, they really wanted to push that. So
Yeah.
that's a good segue into what I was going to say. Also, but going back to what you were saying about like that risk factor, the thing with and the electrocuting gamers, the
Yep.
the thing with gaming is if it's not something that every game can use easily or implement, people aren't going to buy like the device. So
Okay.
like haptics are something that like every game can put in haptics or
Yeah.
whatever. So people are going to be interested in it. But like that was something that killed the Microsoft Kinect. I don't know if you remember one of the Xbox when it came out against the PS4, it was $100 more, but it came with the Kinect, and it was that high def HD camera that can do motion controls. So
Yeah.
that was part of the fun. Was
very
the
good at it,
it was
yeah.
voice activated motion controls and everything like that. But they were $100 more from the PlayStation. So
Because the PlayStation had the iToy.
Yeah, but that was separate, and you
Yeah.
didn't have to buy it.
But
That's
like-
why no one made games for it.
As far as like the mechanics, though, it was very like 1-to-1 compared to like the Wii, where you go,
Yeah. So, but what happened was Microsoft eventually realized that they were losing the console wars, so they had to ditch that Connect aspect of it to lower their price back to be competitive. As soon as they did, developers were like, "All right, fuck it, we're not going to make Connect stuff anymore because not everyone has it." Right? When everyone had it, it's like, okay, let's make sure our games include voice commands and motion controls and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But as soon as gamers didn't have to buy it, they didn't, because it's not adding a whole lot.
yeah.
And that's kind of the thing with any of these peripherals is like, I mean, what was it? PS2, I think, had this awesome, there was a mech game that you could buy this like crazy $200, $300 controller with like all the buttons and everything. But again, it's like, you're going to buy that for one game?
Fuck, it's like Steel something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that
It
the
looks
app
cool
for
as
that. I'm
shit.
like, holy shit, it's like a whole cockpit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I need it, and then just flittered away because it was only for that one game.
Yeah.
Steel Battalion.
Well, because
I think so. Yeah, we should do a shot for that.
Jesus Christ,
Fuck yeah,
I'm
let's
already
go.
starting to slur. Come on.
No. We're going to get through this sober.
All right.
What was something from CES that you saw?
Yeah.
So you guys, went full nerd. I was looking at all the videos and I'm like, oh, I'm a little more practical. Samsung, their smart fridges where like it has like a camera inside because you show you what's in there.
Yeah.
But they're pairing their new one with an AI bot or whatever that when you put, so you have broccoli, you put the broccoli in there, it sees you put the broccoli in there, like, oh, broccoli, and it'll shoot up a list of recipes that you can make with the other stuff you have in the fridge.
That's awesome. It doesn't just say like, you're not going to eat that.
Yeah, broccoli was a bad example.
I'll see you in a couple weeks when you pull that out
That'll
of
go
rotten.
bad. Yeah.
That shit blew my mind though, because they show the someone putting something in there, and then like on the screen on the other door, because the two open doors, it has a picture of what you're putting in there, and then the name, and then it like pops up recipes based on whatever else you had in there, and I'm like,
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
That would be
and
fucking
especially
cool
when
as
you start
fuck.
getting ads for things that you make broccoli with. Yeah.
fucking ads.
That's right. Yeah.
All
Dude,
these
ads are now a part of fucking everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I love TikTok and I love going to lives to see if there's going to be a nipple slip. But like for the most part, it's like fucking TikTok shop left and right. God damn it. Yes, I want to see a woman paint half dressed. Okay. But TikTok shop would just like pops up. And you're like, I don't want to buy anything from here.
So CES, there was,
I thought it was funny
really
though.
cool, though.
I thought it was funny though that everyone's all doom and gloom on the AI thing, and I'm like, oh, tell me what's in my fridge, and then tell me what I could eat with it's in my fridge. I'm like, that's not bad.
that's the first time I've heard of it being automatic. I know there's a few fridges where you could take a picture
Right.
or whatever, and there's another AI device that I'm probably going to bring up. I mean, this is going to be a long episode that I think caught a lot of people's attention. But that was one of the features they showed too, was that whole like, let me show you a picture of my fridge. What can I make? What can I make within this?
I wanted to go an extra step further. 'Cause
Mine would be easy to be like cocktail. Chicken and hummus. That's chicken hummus, and I don't know, Jack and Coke with that prebiotic fake soda you have.
I mean, like, I'll admit, we let shit go to waste in our fridge, and so I want a smart fridge to, yes, give me all the ingredients and shit, or what we can make, but also let me know like it's turned the vegetables have turned to liquid now.
That actually,
Pull it
like,
out.
if it sees you put lettuce in, it just sends you an alert like you got a day.
No, not only that, I would hope to have like an internal camera to go like, oh, that lettuce is now just
Yeah.
pure mush.
Yeah, it
Pull
keeps
it
it-
out. There's
then-
mold.
Then at the end of the year, when you get the wrap up, like every other website is doing, you get a fridge wrap up. You let 42 pounds of greens go to waste.
Not necessarily on the wrap up, but like my
You
daily
loaded
list thing on Spotify.
85 Trulies.
Why did my shit pull up Gregorian chants?
I don't know. I saw that too.
Yeah, okay. The Gregorian chants, by the way, the only fucking time I pulled it up was for Halloween Ouija board time
Was that the last
to
time you
set the
listened to
tone. That's
Spotify?
it. That's the last time I listened to the Gregorian chants.
Interesting.
Random.
I don't know. Yeah, mine was Rebellious Badass Wednesday. I
As
thought
far
that
as
was
AI, Spotify AI sucks dick. The DJ shit.
fun. Oh,
It could do a lot better.
yeah, I'm sure.
Continue.
Speaking of AI, I'm going to get real nerdy and keeping with the game stuff. I'm just trying to open
The games?
trying to open the tab that I'm on. Jesus. NVIDIA ACE stands for the Avatar Cloud Engine. And I know we talked about AI a lot last season in our AI episode. And I think I've refined my thoughts on it, especially when it comes to gaming, because obviously I don't want to see people lose their jobs. You know, voice actors and writers and you know, everyone's really kind of in danger. But
Danger, Will Robinson.
I think I can accept AI if it is going to give us an experience that you could not achieve otherwise. So like right now there's a game we're playing called The Finals that uses AI voice for the announcers. And at first when I heard that, I was like, oh, well, fuck, I don't know if I want to play that. But then I realized like what it's doing, one, they did use voice actors to record their voices for the AI. So cool on them. But also what it does is, you know, so you've played the game, Rudy, and those announcers are going constantly, but it's fresh. It sounds real. Like it sounds like you're playing an esport and there's people shoutcasting your game. And part of that is because of AI. To do that traditionally, you would have had to have voice actors record 200, 300 different voice lines. But it would still get repetitious, like, because it would still be just hearing that same voice line over and over. And what they're announcing is like when one person dies from a team, it'll say like, oh, the such and such team just lost their first, you know, like it's kind of those like play-by-plays that is done purely by AI, and it sounds amazing and it makes the game feel
That's cool.
cool.
Yeah.
So like NVIDIA ACE is taking that whole idea to a whole nother level. And the demo they had at CES was just like a cyberpunk themed ramen shop, and it was an NPC working at the ramen shop, and then another NPC character there, and you walked up to it. And it's using this whole system of speech to text. So you can, well, one, you could go in there and you can just listen to the two characters talk, and it's using essentially like a ChatGPT large language model for the two characters to speak to each other. So you can sit there and just watch them, listen to them talk, and every time you go in, it's going to be something different. Or you can go up and speak to them verbally, because it's going to use speech to text. And then again, it puts it into a large language model, and then they respond to you. And then part of NVIDIA's ACE program is like, it puts in a large language model, it responds, puts it back into speech. So they're speaking to you, and then it uses another AI thing to make their lips move along with what it's saying. So it's like this whole ecosystem of AI-driven things. But what's cool about that is the obvious of like, you can go like in a game now, you can walk to any NPC and have a conversation with them. And yeah, you're killing voice actors in that case, but again, you could hire voice actors to record their voices for things, so I'm not too worried about that. And what it does right for the writers is it allows them to give more time to making the character. Okay. And so what that means, like, I don't know if you guys have ever used ChatGPT. When you talk to ChatGPT, you could tell it a character. You could say, like, if I was Batman, what would I do? Or if I was a 1990s action star, what would you do to solve this problem?
Yeah.
So they can make a character now in these video games and say like, okay, you're a single dad working this ramen shop, you own it. Like you can give the AI all these parameters, and you can give it guide like rails to like where to stop and what its knowledge actually is. And so instead of writing all this stuff, writing these dialogues, the writers now can like create these characters more, and then the AI can fill it in. And there's a lot of potential in games to be able to, like, think of like a detective game. Like if you have to get information out of a character, you could put that information in the AI, in the character, and put parameters as far as like what would make him draw it out or give it up, and what would make him never give it up. And you as a player have to do that on your own. Like you're not picking a dialogue choice. You have to actually say something to these characters. So the demo that they showed was like, it's still text to speech. So it still sounds very robotic, which they'll improve on. But the potential was there to like really converse with these NPCs. And like I said, I think it's great. Like I play Cyberpunk 2077 all the time. And in that game, any NPC that you've ran into, you can call them on your cell phone. But generally, like if you've already gone through the conversation tree, you call a character, which I always call Judy because I love Judy. You just have like a few choices to make and we're like, oh, how's everything going, blah, blah, blah. But with this kind of technology, you could theoretically call an NPC that you know and have a conversation with them. And it would be based off of their character and based off the experiences. And it's even part of what made NVIDIA Ace new or better. And certainly one of those new features was just like environmental awareness. So the characters were aware of the environment around them. So you could say like, oh, what do you think of that bottle of Jägermeister? And they would like recognize that there is a bottle there or whatever. And I think part of the demo was they asked like the ramen guy, like, oh, give me a bowl of your ramen. And he went and grabbed some ramen and brought it to him. Like,
see, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people like shouldn't be too worried about AI, but I mean, I know people are going to be worried, but it's one of those things. If a company or if you use it as a tool, for instance, like I was listening to the radio this morning, and there was somebody that was on the radio, you know, saying, you had just mentioned, you know, like the Chat GPT, and this particular person writes, you know, the sport report, and they're saying, well, if I use this AI, you know, in like my daily life and all this stuff, this was this person's concern, you know, they're like, well, what are we doing, you know, as like a society or as a people, if we're going to constantly use AI to do our work for us? You know, her outlook was like, as we get older, if you don't use it, you lose it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so she's looking at it that way, but then you have the other person's view is like, well, you don't have to use it for all your work, but like Doug mentioned, you know, you can use it to write certain things, but you could focus on other things that you need to develop. And but her argument was like, are we going to end up like Wall-E, you know, that
Correct. Yeah.
society? But
no, because capitalism will keep us working
see,
regardless of the increase in productivity.
but I just look at it, you know, if you use AI as a tool to help you know, map something out, you know, write something out, you don't necessarily have to use everything word for word, but that'll give you more time to do other things, you know, so that you're not just, you know, there focused all the time on that, you know.
Yeah. And in this
to
case,
give you a little bit of free time.
In this case, you're creating something that just wouldn't exist without it.
Exactly.
And
I mean,
the jobs aren't necessarily at stake as to what you're saying is hopefully those jobs would be transitioned into something else.
Haven't they always said work smarter, not harder? So why, like, technology, like in essence, has always been created from the creation of the wheel to like AI and shit like that. It's always been to make our life just that much more easier.
Yeah. The biggest danger is that AI is itself is getting dumber right now because there's so little fresh content. AI is reading itself and getting dumber.
That's great.
Yeah. No, I'm not even joking.
No. I'm laughing that like that's sort of like a parallel to society in general.
Yeah.
It's like we're reading our own shit and getting dumber.
Yeah. The large language model stuff, I think there's a lot of room for improvement. But we are getting there. If you guys don't, I mean, I know I just talked a whole lot about NVIDIA Ace, but there's another AI thing that I can bring up. It caught a lot of people's attention. It's called the Rabbit R1. It is another device, which is weird. Like they're not trying to sell it as like a new cell phone. So they're asking people to like hold on to another little thing
I've seen
in your
seen
pocket.
that pop up.
Yeah, it's an AI companion. It's not too expensive either. It's like $200 or something like that. But what that is doing is taking the large language model of like ChatGPT and adding task to it. So like ChatGPT now, you could go and say like, show me tickets to Japan for March with me and my friends. ChatGPT will bring you a bunch of lists. This Rabbit R1 will book it and you just have to hit confirm. So like I don't think everyone needs that kind of thing. And this is the device that I was saying about the fridge. You could just say, hey, here's my fridge. What can I make with it?
Yeah.
But the task thing is something new. Again, if we can improve LLM.
That's huge, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I do feel
like, sorry.
go
Like
ahead.
Ubers, right? Like if you were to use ChatGPT, like, book me an Uber, which you wouldn't do. You would use the Uber app.
Yeah.
But with this device, you don't even need to open that app. You can just, you can link all your Uber, your Spotify,
like a
and be
personal
like,
assistant.
give me a pizza, and it will, or like give me this kind of pizza from this place, and it will order it for you through the app.
It's
and
very
you just hit
insightful to
confirm.
your life.
See, but then that brings up, the whole. I get, people are trying to develop, more technology to kind of help you do things, or to replace, like your phone.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at that as, that's just more things that you have to carry, that you have to have. And I know CES had that ring con or whatever that thing is, like where it's like a ring that you can wear, but if you shoot it at a light, it'll turn on that light. It'll start like your stove. But I look at that as, that's technology that could help people out that's handicapped, that need that type of assistance. But when you're, I don't know, necessarily trying to book things or you're trying to look up information, I just feel like it's just another thing besides, just having your phone or like another, app that's not like a device that you actually have.
Well, I mean, I think that it's more of a proof of concept of like the technology that I would imagine would then later get incorporated and bought up by all these bigger, companies. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, Apple now
hopefully.
merge with that.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry. But also, if that thing does that much and it's literally your personal assistant and it's at that little small form factor, I wouldn't care carrying a second thing. If I'm if I'm I need a little digital personal assistant.
Yeah.
I'm doing that much, then for sure.
that was the thing, was part of this guy's pitch and like his big keynote was, cell phones were designed to make our lives easier. But if you look at like all the top apps for a cell phone, they're time wasters, they're games, they're entertainment.
Yeah.
And
They
even
didn't need to change that.
and even trying to use your cell phone to do all these things, you're opening up multiple apps.
Yeah.
You're looking at all these things. And I think the idea was, again, it's not for everybody. And obviously he didn't say that in his keynote, but people that are busy or maybe who don't want to be on their phones all the time, a little device like that, I think would be great. But we're not all that busy of a person. I mean, very few of us are that busy of a person.
You can go, to a website or whatever.
Speak for yourself. I have a lot of porn to watch. Okay.
Yeah,
But,
but it was able to work with other things like Midjourney or any of these image things. So even if you're a creative person, again, you could do it through your phone, but be able to kind of just do it through that.
So speaking of, AI and like a personal assistant, that what is it? That Samsung Bali, the size of a soccer ball, that just rolls around your house. How do you guys feel about like having an AI like that's in your home, that could follow you everywhere? If you needed to look something up, it could, do it for you. Like you said, it can book things. Like it could, it has a built-in projector, and it's just like your in-home personal assistant, almost like a little pet.
Sony, I mean, years ago had that little robotic dog.
Yeah.
That I think, a lot of people hadn't really loved it, and it was just acting like a stupid little dog. Samsung had the Bali, and I'm trying to look it up because there was another company that also had a at-home robot.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of potential for it. I mean, not a whole lot.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at a video of it right now, right? And I can see the whole projection thing and it like, going into the other room. So I guess it minimizes having to set up a bunch of different drop cams and stuff like that. I guess that it's I don't know.
See, it's just my thing.
If it can vacuum, then I'm on board.
Yeah. But it's just, I get having, a certain, AI robot, in the house, like an assistant, but it's almost, like, hey Siri or hey Google, when I can do that with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not saying that I can project, or do anything, but it's just interesting to see what they're gonna do with these type of virtual things, moving forward.
Honestly, without the projection capability, I don't think that would be an interesting device to get.
No.
But like seeing what using it as like a TV, maybe you don't have a TV at the moment or whatever.
Yeah.
And okay, I get it.
I still like, whose house is big enough that you would need that kind of device following you around?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like
most people live in a relatively small space that use like an Alexa or a Google Home or whatever. Is that what they're called?
Well, for the most, I mean, like everybody has a Google Home or an Alexa. I mean, fucking Spotify was literally giving them away.
Yeah.
We have those, and you just buy a little device here and there, and that's all you need. Yeah, for someone who's living like in a single bedroom apartment. Yeah, I don't need a Wally.
Yeah, I mean, until they could start doing like task, like you said, like until they could like take out the trash or something like that. Which I mean, close. I guess if you had the right environment, that Bally could like link like magnetic itself to.
Give it a full body.
Yeah. Sexy body.
That thing would live in my bathroom and it'd be like, yo, search forehead porn. Just project it on the wall right there. There you go. Shower up now. Oh yeah, let me soap up.
Yeah.
Like I can't see
but
any,
it learns
any
it
other...
learns it learns that from you, and then you'll be like out in the living room and it'll see you like, oh, you're here, and then boom, porn on the tile floor.
See,
You'll be like, what? Let's go.
It's like, I'll get the tissues.
right.
So one more thing involving AI and gaming, maybe a theme here for myself is
Gaming, Doug. What?
I know.
No, go
I
ahead.
might do a lot of it, maybe too much. MSI showed off a monitor there at CES that had all the new stuff like high resolution and high refresh rate, but it had AI in it. And specifically, they were running League of Legends, which I've never played, but it's a very popular game. But they were using AI to add more like display and more information to the person using it, such as the AI would monitor the mini map and then give an overlay display on the main screen of like where a character was. Which is essentially a hardware advantage over, which, I mean, they exist. Anyone that's just using, yes, right? It
You might as well have aim assistant on, bro.
Yeah, it opens up that question because even like I have a bunch of Razer Chroma stuff on my computer, and that uses the color sometimes to like, oh, when you're getting hit, everything will start flashing red, which helps sometimes because sometimes stuff's going on, you don't realize that you're getting hit. It's like, oh shit, my room's flashing red, like I can see it. So part of that was the AI was part of that too, where it was creating a health bar like on the monitor to keep track, because sometimes these games, it is, like I said, it's hard to keep track of when you're losing life or what your life even is because you're so focused on the screen you can't look in the bottom corner or whatever. So yeah, I mean, because we've already had a few monitors for years now that add a crosshair. Through the monitor will add a crosshair to the game. So any of the first person shooter games that don't have a built-in crosshair, all of a sudden you do because you have this special monitor. This is just opening up. Yeah, it's like you said, it's similar to like the aim assist argument, and I personally don't like it. I mean, I think it's kind of bad for especially competitive games. Yeah, that people are gonna be running around with any kind of like, especially like that's a huge advantage to have arrows pointing to where people are.
Like if the only way that's not cheating is if everyone has it. Like if it becomes like a standard, like if it becomes a feature of the game.
Yeah.
Like so we're we're throwing a whole lot of information at you. Here's a more sense way of knowing what's happening because you're reading this information, but you're getting like the flashes here or an overlay here.
Like, it's gonna bring back that whole argument of screen watching.
Yeah.
That aspect of it.
And to be fair, I mean, like I said, there's always been hardware advantages, though.
Yeah.
I mean, headphones especially. You know, something like I think Turtle Beach were like back in the day were like notorious for being so sensitive that you know you play Call of Duty with a good set of headphones, or even like the Razer ones I have are like full 3D, so you know you can hear the footsteps coming from behind, and someone that's not playing with those kind of headphones won't hear it. So it's like I guess there's always been hardware advantages.
Yeah.
But a little arrow pointed like, shoot this guy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like,
Speaking of all that, that's why I always liked playing Call of Duty hardcore.
Yes.
I get
no
No HUD.
to each their
Fuck
own,
yeah.
you know, to each their own, but I just never liked that map feature. I'm like, you're not supposed to know I'm there, man.
Yeah, when
you
you
can't.
shoot.
No, you're not supposed to know. You should have been dead, you know. But like I said, that's just me. To each their own, you know.
I always liked hardcore.
I love the hardcore mode. That one shot kill.
Yeah.
So satisfying. Except for when it happens to you.
Yeah. Well, they're fucking cheating still.
Hardcore mode forever.
wasn't there a game called like Escape from Tarkov that had it was just like no
That game's
heads up.
huge right now. That
it?
was a genre creating game.
It's like no heads up display.
It's very hardcore like military sim. But that game created the extraction genre, which is I think going to be the next really big thing. And we've gotten a few games that have tried to mimic that, and we're finally getting games that are doing like, hey, we can do the extraction thing and not be a pain in the ass hardcore. And like even Diablo 4 PvP zones use the extraction elements that kind of Escape from Tarkov implemented and created. I don't know if they created. They were certainly the first big game to get everyone's attention that had that idea. Speaking of games, we're going to get a whole new type of display to play them on in the form of transparent screens.
Arguably the biggest thing to come out of CES, the one thing everyone's talking about, even though implementation is like,
Yeah.
what the fuck would I use this for?
The LG OLED TV.
Yeah, and Samsung has a micro LED transparent.
So I was seeing that, right? It would only make sense if you have like, you know, like a poster or a painting in the backs where it's like when you turn it off, instead of just a black screen, it's now you get to see like the art behind it or something like that.
Yeah,
See-
but the Samsung like frame TVs already do that.
Yeah.
I mean they're on, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
those are nice. Those are nice TVs.
I look at that stuff like it's a cool concept, but the artist in me looks at it, you know, as in it's a thing that you could have, you know, that you could have, you know, different displays in there. Like for instance, like if you wanted like a fish tank, but you didn't, you know, want to have to deal with, you know, actual real fish. You didn't want to clean it out, you know, and all that stuff. Like you could kind of have that type of concept, you know, or rotating artwork. Like it would look cool, like in a club, you know, if they made like a wall, you know, and it was a, I don't know, like a techno type display. You can project different things on that, but I don't know how I would use that in my daily TV use.
That's exactly it. So like as far as having a fish tank aquarium, that's the only, like as a screensaver, that's the only thing I could see it being as. But when I see, I'm looking at pictures now, but when I see the actual video displayed on it, you're not getting the true blacks.
No, you never will. And so I don't think at the consumer level it will ever be popular. But businesses, I mean, I look at our setup right now. Rudy's got 2 monitors blocking himself. He could have 2 transparent monitors because, you know, he's not watching videos or anything on that. Like you could still put your displays, and then when they're off, we would have a clearer shot of Rudy.
And then
so
we
I
could even see what he's looking at, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of. The view from the back wasn't quite as clear.
Yeah. But I could see like offices, you know, same thing. Like if you have, I think it would make like a secretary's desk or assistant's desk more welcoming, I guess. And then like obviously places like Disneyland, I think are going to go crazy with that kind of tech.
That's a good
use it,
point.
like clubs, businesses. But I think there's a lot of potential for it, but not
Actual
as a
movie
TV
and show.
replacement.
Not
I don't-
actually viewing
I don't
motion picture.
really see it in home use besides, you know, something cool just to have, but
It's gimmicky as fuck.
gimmicky, but it'll probably, if someone buys it, you know, they'll try it out but then they'll probably use it for something else. You know, like, oh, look at my little, cool little fish tanker. Something. But like we mentioned,
What's the price on these things?
I do see it used at other businesses for something else. That
The
would
use case I saw people talking about was like retail shops. Like you have, the windows with stuff on display that you can still see, inside the shop, but with like floating advertisements of what they have in the store.
Yeah, you could theoretically like point at things and like put a price on it like through the screen
it's
as you
almost
look
like
at through the window.
Like Blade Runner style. You know how they used to have ads in the future, how all that stuff was 3D and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
This is so funny. So I said gimmicky, right? And I was like, what else did it remind me of that people don't fucking buy anymore? The curved TVs.
Oh, gamers still get those.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think gamers are still
have a
fans
curved
of them.
monitor,
Yeah, they're
jackass.
curved right there.
No, but like a TV. Curved monitor, sure.
Yeah.
But a curved TV.
Oh, who was it? What?
Unless you're playing games.
Samsung? Samsung makes this awesome curved monitor. It's huge and it's ridiculously priced, but it
The
can
Odyssey?
it can go vertical.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? It's
Uh-huh.
pretty like at first I was like, why would you do that? But then there's a display at like Best Buy and you got this huge curved monitor and you can put, multiple screens basically on the one screen. So you could like be, if you're a streamer, especially like you could be gaming here, then you put your Twitch chat there and like maybe all your OBS stuff up at the top. And like, it's kind of cool. Or you'd go sideways and
It's like three like regular sized monitors and like
It's
in
huge.
one shot. Like,
Yeah.
I've been pricing that shit and like, just come down a little bit more. Come down.
yeah, I if I didn't get that awesome Sony TV I have, I probably would look into something like that at my desk because I sit in front of a 43-inch TV anyway at a desk. So
Oh, speaking of monitors and stuff like that, real quick, because I know you're the Razer guy. How do you feel about that Razer TV that you can adjust the lighting? It has like a feature like if this was a TV, it has a feature that you can swipe and it kind of lights around the TV.
Oh.
So like if you game in the dark and if you don't want your eyes, to like hurt or kind of, just get out of whack, like you can adjust the lighting on the TV.
I haven't looked into it. It's not a TV or it's a device that goes on top of the TV, right?
Yeah, like I think it's a functional device that adds to the TV.
They're adding. I think there was a couple companies that did it this year, so it's certainly something that people are interested in. Where it's a device that's going to go on top of your TV and have a white LED in the front, so you can light up your desk and their area. But then Razer, of course, is adding their chroma stuff to the back, so you can still display all the colors with all their crazy chroma stuff. I'm interested. It's like $130.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like, it looks pretty cool, but you know what I'm saying? For those who game in the dark.
Yeah, I game in the dark all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But usually I'm not doing anything else, so it's like it's fine. But I could see anyone that does have like if they're writing or they're eating or something like that. Like that would be a pretty cool way to light up your desk and not like light up the whole room or whatever. Yeah, Razer. I'm always a big fan of Razer and all the crazy stuff they do. Except their chair. I think their chair is hurting my hip. Let's wrap it up. Stick a butt plug in it. Sorry, I said it. We shouldn't have to say it. No, stick a button. Button. That's what we say.
Put a pin in it.
Well, all right. That was just a small sampling of all the wacky gadgets at CES this year.
There was a lot. I really suggest everyone like Google and look up the YouTube stuff. There's a lot of fun things.
Yeah, we're not experts or anything. It was just things that caught our eye, caught our interest.
I think we each looked up like 4 or 5 things.
Well, I watched a bunch of videos and then picked like 4 or 5 things that tickled my fancy.
Yeah.
Hey, but you notice Rudy didn't send us that video?
Yeah.
He's like,
I said no. I said I was going to throw links in the Discord and like completely. It's been a week.
No
It's
one
been a
brought up
week.
the soft serve like ice cream machine. There was so many. There was
Yeah,
like
there
a
was soft serve,
hologram.
there was the bartender.
There was an AI grill that could see the thickness of your steak and like cook it.
Yeah,
like there was a lot.
There was an
Something
AI cat door that would know if your cat has a dead mouse in it. It would work like 90% of the time. And so it wouldn't let it in.
No.
That's awesome.
No. No.
There was AI or neural headphones that would let you know if you're like working too hard. Read your brain waves.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm going to say really quick because there was a huge technology advancement in Bluetooth of what are they calling it? Fucking aura casting. So basically, like one device, like a TV, could aura cast to anyone that wanted to hook up to it. So like similar to like at the gym where you like turn to a certain channel or whatever.
Okay.
Like so, same thing. Like a device could be like everyone with their Bluetooth headphones could like boom really quickly like all switch to the same thing. The other big thing that they announced was someone. Fuck, I should have looked it up. On the fly translation through earbuds.
Oh, I
so
would love
if someone's talking to you like in another language,
I always
like,
wanted that.
boom.
They had that translation thing, and then it was a couple years ago where it was another pair of glasses. So like that would translate hand
ASL?
signs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that should all
So
be.
it was
Yeah.
just one of those things.
That should all be
I think
very
that's
close.
pretty cool.
Google Lens does a lot of that kind of stuff and just put it in AR glasses.
I've only watched the first episode of Echo, but I saw a clip that Kingpin kind of creates a device or whatever, like, you know, contact AI thing. And as he's talking, it like throws the signs up and stuff for her. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
So no
man.
more fucking people that are faking.
Wow.
No more people that are faking fucking sign language.
Oh, they got the job,
seen
but
that
they're
shit?
just up there.
You've had some girls do that to
Fucking
you,
ridiculous.
so they wouldn't have to talk to you.
Yeah.
No.
I think I knew a girl that told me that they did that once, like in
I know, but
college.
that earbud thing, man, is a dream. Like if you ever travel, and if you don't know like the native language or
I thought you
whatever it
said,
is,
did you say Airbud? I instantly went to the Golden Retriever playing basketball. It's like, yeah, that's the fucking dream right there.
Just a dog with you. The dog's like,
fucking dream.
I said, do you want it to have
I
sex?
knew he was saying earbud, but it did sound a little bit like airbud. I'm like,
Airbud.
that airbud
That's
thing.
the dream.
More amazed that the dog speaks English.
Yeah. Can you imagine owning that dog? The money you'd make. Money, 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 money.
Basketball playing dog that translates foreign languages for you. Shit.
Yeah, and they didn't
Sign me
even
up.
have social media back then. That dog would have been an Instagram star, right? A fucking star.
Remake Airbud.
All right, let's close it up. Bye, everybody.
that's it. We're done.
Power down your devices. Clean up your sex toys. I don't know. Oh, man.
This episode was a little different for us. Like, we usually nerd about nerd stuff, but like, you know, gadgets and tech have always been kind of one of my things of, oh my God, I nerd out about shit like that too. So, I mean, we're trying to expand our definition, our love of hype for, you know,
Everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything that falls into the realm. So we hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope it piques your interest and makes you, you know, go out and search some of this stuff and see what's out there.
Oh, yeah. Some of the stuff is really fun to check out. I hope we can actually purchase some of these things.
Also, let us know in the comments, you know, what tech that you were excited for, you know, that you like, or what's a futuristic tech that you want to see one day, you know, hit us up. We're all interested in all that type of stuff.
And in the meantime, where can you find us?
Yeah,
Everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, at The Hype Attack. Hit us up in the comments. Hit us up in the DMs.
Yeah. So I mean,
Like,
smart
rate,
devices.
review.
I think you can literally ask your smart devices to play our shit. So there we go. Speaking of AI and all that, do it.
That's
do
it
yeah.
for this episode. Same hype time.
Same hype channel.
Hype attack.